Hello, we are on page 238 of Shining Star A. We are looking at the grammar assignment, and we are using will to show the future. Use will and the base form of the verb to talk about the future. When you make predictions about the future, you use will. Astronauts will fly to Mars by the end of the century. Cars will drive themselves on automated highways. The population will grow to 11 billion by 2100. Will. You will have a quiz on these two reading assignments. Note that will is usually contracted to ul in speaking and informal writing, but do not use contractions in formal writing. Formal writing is you're writing an essay. So we will build becomes we'll build. We will becomes we'll. We'll build a space station in 10 years. And this is something to pay attention to. Will not, we don't say willn't, we say won't. So will not is won't. They probably will not find life on Mars. They probably won't find life on Mars. So let's practice. You do not need to write this in your notebook because you have a practice on a workbook page, but you do need to go through this and make sure you understand my examples. Okay, so we're going to use the words below to make predictions about the future. So, firefighting robots rescuing people. Do you think that they will rescue people? I think they will. I think we're already working on that technology. Firefighting robots will rescue people. Number 2. In 2050, the population will be 10 billion. 3. Humans will travel to Mars. Or, if you don't think they will, you can say humans will not travel to Mars. Humans won't travel to Mars. So, will they or won't they? Number 4. Medical discoveries will help people live longer. I believe that is true. Medical discoveries will help people live longer. Apartment buildings will have 180 floors. I'm thinking about all of these people. Where will they live? We're going to be going up. High-speed elevators will carry 80 people at a time. High-speed elevators will not carry 80 people at a time. High-speed elevators won't carry 80 people at a time. Cars will steer themselves on automated highways. And Google already has an automated car. Not an automated highway, but they have an automated car, a robot car that drives itself. It steers itself. It recently got into an accident, by the way. It's been on the news. You can Google it. You can Google the Google car. Number 8, car manufacturers car manufacturers will make safer, faster cars. The price will be $60,000. People will fly with jetpacks. I don't think that's true. People won't fly with jetpacks. Okay. Let's look at the next page. Writing notes for a research report. You may have noticed that ESL 5.6 did this for their last issue. where they did some research, and I had them write on index cards. So how do you do that? You think of your topic, you research, and you find information and put it on a bulleted form. And then you say what your source is. You use these cards before you create a presentation or an essay. It's how you get your information together. It's called researching. As one of your final projects for Shining Star assignments, you will be doing some research, and you will be using note cards as it's shown in your book to research something about the future that interests you. So the example here is future transportation. How do people get around? If that's interesting to you, we've got flying cars, hypersonic planes, jetpacks. We're still waiting for hoverboards that were seen in the Back to the Future movies. That would be cool. So future transport is an example. What if you're thinking of future health, future housing, future food? Other issues, something that you think of for the future that you would like to research. Of course, you're researching the ideas that other people have about what will happen in the future. Unless you have a time machine and you can actually go to the future. And if you do, please let me know, because I'd be interested in going with you. I'm joking, of course. Okay, so reread the note card on the previous page, 239. Think of a topic. So transportation, health, housing, clothing, food, a topic that you would like to write about. Okay, growing population, future cities, future transport, future exploration, like space travel. Okay, then you're going to make a subtopic web to think of some ideas to research. Then you're going to narrow your idea down to 2 subtopics. As you look at different sources, see which subtopics have the most information written about them. Okay. Once you decide on a topic, so it's the same thing. Once you decide on a topic, once you break it down to, let's say, jetpacks, make a subtopic web. List as many subtopics as you can, then narrow it down. Write 1 note card for each subtopic. So you would have a note card, for example, on flying cars, hypersonic planes, and 1 on jetpacks. Then you're going to use nonfiction sources. Okay, what kind of nonfiction sources can you use? You can look up Wikipedia. You could Google search it. You could also look in the library. There are books. Okay, remember the rules for writing note cards, that you are writing in your own words. Okay, and that you record the source, where you got your information. All right. This should be an interesting project for you. After doing research, of course, we'll do a presentation. Okay, so before we end part 1, check yourself. Are you feeling comfortable and confident doing each of these things? Can you summarize? Why do we summarize? How do we summarize? Why take notes? What is a research report? What is a subtopic? What is a subtopic web? Subtopic web. Okay. What are 2 sources of information that you can use when you're writing a research report? Make 3 predictions about the future using will. New social studies vocabulary. What can a hypersonic plane do that a regular plane cannot? And what are differences between Earth and Mars? Okay, check your knowledge. If you know this information, you will likely do well on a test. Not to mention, if you know this information, you'll be a more interesting person, I think.